Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you don't know me, my name is Sarah and in today's video we are going to be finishing our appas. So there's only one last thing we need to do, and that is to add the arrow onto our little guys. There are two different ways to do this. The first one is to needle felt it on, like this one that I have made. And then the second way is to crochet the whole piece separately and then sew it on. I'm actually going to begin by explaining the needle felting portion. If you are working with a plush yarn, blanket yarn, basically anything other than like a cotton or an acrylic yarn, you're going to want to crochet it on separately. Because needle felting, you have to use like a more woolly feeling. Hopefully that makes sense to you guys. You can't needle felt like a plush yarn or something. For the needle felting, you're going to need some wool. Now I bought mine from Hobby Lobby in a pack of 9 different colors. So I recommend ordering wool. You'll be able to get it for cheaper because I spent way too much money on this wool. And the other thing you'll need are some needle felting tools. I'm not going to be walking you through this completely. I'll just explain how I did it, mostly because I'm not an expert in this. So what I did was I laid a strip down across the whole piece and I secured the edges just so it would stay on. And then I made sure it was nice and full, and then I added the arrows. So for the points on the body, you want them to sit between the legs for these two, and then you want to have 2 more on the tail, and then finally the bottom of the tail is a different color as well. And once you get everything laid on, that's when I started to do the whole thing and secure it. I also went back over when I was finished and put more on top as well, just to fill in any blank space that I had. And the same thing for the arrow up here. You just lay down the basic shape, press it in, and then trim, add more as you will. A tip for needle felting is to make sure you're pushing all the way into the plushie. Don't just do like surface stuff, really get into the plushie, and make sure you don't break your needles into the plushie either. So make sure you go in straight and come out straight. Other than that, I'd say be careful in the tail because you can stab yourself through it, so don't do that. I would say it takes a couple hours to do this step, so keep that in mind. And yeah, that is about it. If you have any questions about the needle felting, definitely let me know in the comments. I am by no means an expert. This is actually the first time that I ever really did anything like this. If any of you are wondering, it is pretty sturdy. I mean, you have to get in there with like a needle to pull it up. So if you do it right, it won't come off easily at all, and it'll be nice and stuck on there. For the arrow that we're going to be crocheting, we will need some materials for this. So we need our yarn. I'll be using this color here. I'm not sure if it's 100% the right color, but it will work. That's what we'll be using today. And then you'll need the same crochet hook you've been using this whole time. So for me, it's 3.5. You'll need some sewing needles to attach it, and a pair of scissors, and also lots of time and patience because the arrow is a pretty big piece. Let's get started. I'm going to zoom the camera in so you can see a little bit better, and then we will get crocheting. To begin the arrow, we are going to begin at the forehead. So we're going to be creating the actual point first. So to begin, you're going to create a slip knot onto your hook. Now there will be a lot of ends for the arrow because we try and make it as seamless as possible. So keep all your ends short unless I tell you to leave a long tail. Otherwise, just keep them short. And we're going to chain 2. And in that second chain from hook, we're going to place 3 single crochets. Just like so. And now we're going to chain 1 and we're going to turn, and we're going to single crochet. We're going to increase in the next stitch and then single crochet. So now we're going to chain 1 and we're going to turn, and now we're going to single crochet. We're going to increase in the next 2 stitches, and then we will single crochet once more. Chain 1, turn, and now we're going to single crochet, increase once, single crochet 2 more times, increase, and then single crochet in that last stitch. Now we are going to chain 1, turn, and we are going to increase in this first stitch, We're going to single crochet 6. Then we are going to increase in that last stitch. Go ahead and chain 1 and turn. Now we're going to increase, single crochet 8, and then increase in that last stitch. Chain 1 and turn. We're going to increase, single crochet 10, and then increase in that last stitch. Now we're going to chain 1, turn, and single crochet in each stitch down. And here is the arrow so far. Now, just so you all know, we will be going around and doing a border across the whole piece. So just so you're aware, we will be doing that and cleaning up any edges. Go ahead and chain 1 and fasten off, leaving a short end. Now we're going to create another slip knot onto our hook. Again, leaving a short end. What we're going to do is we're actually going to join back on. So you want to make sure that the wrong side is facing you of that last round we did. And we're going to count 4 stitches away. And in that 5th stitch, we're going to join with the single crochet. And we're going to single crochet 5 more times. So you should have 4 single crochets unworked on both sides of this and 6 single crochets that we will be working into. Go ahead and chain 1 and turn, and we're going to single crochet in each stitch. Now we are going to repeat this process for a total of 90 rounds. So this is a lot of single crocheting. Thankfully the stitch count is pretty small, so it doesn't take too long. And here we are. The full strip is finished. It's nice and long. So now we're going to finish one of the spikes before fastening off. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to chain one, and we're going to work along the side of the strip we just made. And we're going to single crochet in the next 5 rounds, if you will. You should have 5 single crochets. Now we're going to chain 1 and turn and single crochet 5. Hey everyone, I'm currently editing this video here and I have something to add for this tail tip part. So I actually single crocheted 4 rounds, but I actually recommend single crocheting just 2 and making this a little bit shorter. If you sewed the belly on like I showed you how to do, then there's not as much space as there was on my original appa, so the structure for this tip is a little different. So on the screen is what I recommend following. I'm going to try and cut out what I say as best I can. Just so you know, it's better to do 2 single crochet rounds than 4. Now we will chain 1, turn, and we're going to decrease in the first, or we're just going to decrease 1. I'm just going to be using the regular decrease for this since these are double-sided. And then you'll single crochet in the remaining 3 stitches. Chain 1, turn, single crochet for a round. Chain 1 and turn, and you're going to decrease once again. Single crochet in the next 2 stitches. Chain 1 and turn and single crochet, and then we are done with this piece. Go ahead and chain 1 and fasten off. Just leave a short little end here. So this is the base of the tail, so if you want you can put it against the tail and see where it'll sit. Now we're going to do the other side. So we're going to make a slip knot onto our hook, leaving a short tail. And we're going to count 5 stitches away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and join into that 5th stitch with a single crochet. Just like that. Now we're going to chain 1 and turn. Go ahead and single crochet 5 for 4 rounds. Chain 1 and turn, single crochet in the next 3 stitches, and then decrease. Chain 1 and turn, single crochet in each stitch. Chain 1 and turn, single crochet 2, and then decrease. And then finally chain 1, turn, and single crochet. Now we're going to chain 1 and fasten off, leaving a short end. And there we have the tip of the tail. So it looks like mine is a little bit on the wider side, and that's simply because I sewed the belly on a little bit wider. So if this ends up being a little too big for you, feel free to omit 1 or 2 of the single crochet rounds where we single crocheted 5. I might end up pulling these out and doing that, but we shall see. You can also just kind of sew it on a little bit wider as well. Now we're going to move on to the next spike, which is the center of the tail. So go ahead and create a slip knot onto your hook. For this, we are going to count 9 stitches over. So we'll start on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And then in that 10th stitch, we're going to join with a single crochet. Just like that. So go ahead and make sure you have 9 unworked spaces between those 2 spikes. And now we're going to single crochet in the next 6 stitches. Just like so, you should have 7 single crochets. Now we're going to chain 1, turn, and we're going to single crochet in each stitch for 2 rows. Chain 1 and turn, and now we're going to decrease. We're going to single crochet 3, and we will decrease once again. Chain 1 and turn, and we're going to single crochet for 2 rounds. And chain 1 and turn, you're going to decrease, single crochet, and decrease once again. Chain 1, turn, and then single crochet 3. I'm going to chain 1 and fasten off. Now I know everyone's tension is different, so if you need to add or take away single crochet rounds for all of these spikes, to make them a little bit longer or a little bit shorter as needed. So here's our second spike. So now we're going to repeat this process on the other side. We have our first 2 spikes ready to go. So now we're going to add the second spike. So this next spike is between the tail and the legs. So this one is the shortest of all the spikes. What we're going to do is create a small slip knot onto our hook. We are going to be 7 stitches away. So in that 7th stitch, we will single crochet. And in that 7th, join with a single crochet. Now we will single crochet in the next 6 stitches. There we are, you should have 7 single crochets. Go ahead and chain 1 and turn, single crochet for 1 round. Chain 1 and turn, we're going to decrease. Apparently I am missing a stitch. That is my fault. I told you guys to double count and I did not. Okay, now we can decrease, single crochet 3, and then decrease once more. Chain 1, turn, single crochet. Chain 1 and turn, and you're going to decrease, and then single crochet, and then decrease. Chain 1 and turn, single crochet 3. Now I'm actually going to check this against my appa to see if it's long enough. About centered. Well, I would say that that is probably going to be fine. Anything that doesn't fit, we can always stretch a bit. Let's go ahead and fasten off, leaving a short end. And we're going to repeat this spike on the other side. And here you can see we have that basic shape forming. So this is all of the tail spikes finished now. So now we are going to begin the back spikes. So there are 4 of them, 2 on each side. These ones are longer ones. So let's get to it. To begin the next spike, so this is the spike between the first set of legs. This one is going to be slightly smaller than the next one. What we're going to do, create a slip knot onto our hook, just like we were doing earlier, leaving a small end. And then whichever side you want to work with first, doesn't matter. We are going to count 4 stitches away, and in that 5th stitch, we'll place a single crochet. Right here. And then you're going to single crochet in the next 7 stitches, so you'll have 8 single crochets total. Once you finish that, you're going to chain 1 and turn. And we're going to single crochet for 2 rows. Now you're going to chain 1, turn, decrease, single crochet 4, and then decrease again. Now you're going to chain 1 and turn and single crochet for 2 rows. You're going to chain 1, turn, decrease, single crochet 2, and then decrease once again. Chain 1 and turn, and now you're going to single crochet for 2 rows. Chain 1 and turn, decrease 2 times. Chain 1 and turn and single crochet twice. Now you can chain 1 and fasten off, leaving a short end. There we have our next spike. So now we're going to repeat this spike on the other side. And there we have it. We only have 2 more spikes left, and then we can do the border around the whole thing, and then we're done. Well, with sewed on, but then we'll be done. Same as the last spikes, you're going to create a slip knot with the short end, and for this one, we're going to count 5 stitches away and single crochet in that 6th stitch. Then single crochet 7 more times, so you have a total of 8 single crochets. Chain 1 and turn, and for these spikes we're going to single crochet for 3 rows. Chain 1 and turn, we will decrease, single crochet 4, and then decrease again. Chain 1 and turn, and single crochet in each stitch for 2 rows. Chain 1 and turn, you're going to decrease, single crochet 2, and then decrease. Chain 1 and turn, single crochet for 2 rows. Chain 1 and turn, decrease 2 times. Chain 1, turn, and single crochet 2, and then chain 1 and fasten off. Of course, leaving a short end. There's that next spike. So now we have our final spike to finish. So this one we will repeat back on this side in the exact same way. Here we have all of the spikes finished. So now we can add the border. We're going to join our yarn with a long end. So go ahead and leave a really long end on the slip knot. We're going to join with a single crochet to the base of the tail portion, and it doesn't really matter where you place this for single crochet. And what you're going to do is single crochet until you get around to the edge. So wherever you start, just come to the edge of this point. Remember to put 1 single crochet in each round so everything sits nice and flat like that. And when you get around to this one, what we're actually going to do is in that single crochet in the end, we're going to put 3 single crochets. And then we're going to single crochet 2. And in that second single crochet, we'll add 2 more single crochets. So you'll have 3 single crochets, a single crochet in between it, and then 3 more single crochets. And then you're going to single crochet along this edge until you get to the next corner. Whenever you get to a corner like this, we're going to actually decrease. So I'll show you how to do that once I get to it. Right here, this is the last stitch, we're going to decrease between these 2 stitches here. So this single crochet round and then the round of the base part that we put down first. Hopefully that makes sense. And then you're going to single crochet to the next corner. And we'll repeat the decrease here, just like that, and then single crochet along the edge until we get to the top of this spike. And in that corner, we're going to place 3 single crochets just like we did with the last spike. We're going to single crochet in the next stitch, and then 3 more single crochets. And then single crochet down the spike to the next corner where we will decrease. Here we'll put a decrease, and then single crochet along the edge to the next corner. As you single crochet along this edge, make sure you put the ends onto the inside. So the right side of the stitches is the up at this point, so make sure your knots stay on the bottom. That way we can just tuck everything into when we sew the spikes on, we sew the arrow on. Decrease in that corner just like we did with the other ones. And for this spike, this is the littlest one that we have. It's between the tail and the legs. What we're going to do for this one is just place 1 single crochet into that corner, and we're going to put 3 single crochets into that center stitch, and then single crochet back down. This one we want to be a little pointier than the others. Then single crochet it down, decreasing in that corner, and then single crochet until we get to the next corner, and decrease in that corner as well. And single crochet up. This is the second to last spike. We're going to single crochet up it. Place 1 single crochet into that top point, and we're actually going to chain 2 for this one, and single crochet in that second chain from hook, and then single crochet into the next stitch, and this gives that a nice little point. And then you're going to single crochet down the spike once again. So as you can see, we've got a nice little point on this one. Remember to decrease in the corner, single crochet to the next spike, and decrease in that corner again. Just like that. Here's what we're looking like so far. So far, so good. 1 last spike to go. So single crochet up this spike as well. And we'll repeat the exact same thing that we did on the last spike. Single crochet into that top stitch, chain 2, single crochet into that second chain from hook, and then single crochet into the next stitch. And then go ahead and single crochet down the spike, just like so. When you get to that corner at the bottom, decrease, and then single crochet all the way up to the arrow on the top of the head. There we go. So now we're going to single crochet all the way up until we get to the arrow up here. Remember, 1 single crochet per round of this base part so that it stays nice and clean and you're not skipping anything. Once you get to the corner of the arrow, we're going to decrease like we did at all the other corners. And then we're going to single crochet up that little point here. And then in that corner, we will place 3 single crochets. And then crochet down the spike. This is technically the arrow now. It's not technically a spike. We're going to crochet down the arrow. And when you get to that chain right at the tip of the arrow, we're going to single crochet, we're going to chain 2, we're going to place a single crochet into that chain 2 stitch, and then single crochet right back into that chain 1 once again. And then working along the other side of the arrow, crochet down back to the corner. And in that corner, put your 3 single crochets, and then single crochet along that back of the arrow and decrease in this corner, and then single crochet back down the other side. So here is the arrow point finished. We have one side with the border on it, looking really nice so far. So what we're going to do is we're going to repeat the exact same thing we just did all the way down this piece. So copy what you did for each of these spikes. I'll walk you through it still, but if you want to do it on your own, you can as well. So go ahead and single crochet down till you get to the next corner, and remember to decrease into that corner. When you get to that corner, go ahead and decrease, single crochet up the spike, for this spike you place a single crochet into that top, chain 2, single crochet in that second chain from hook, and then single crochet into the next stitch, and then single crochet down the spike. If anything sits a little funky, that is okay, because when we sew it on, we'll be able to adjust those little things, like this corner curling up. We'll be able to fix that when we sew it on. When you get to that next corner, make sure that you decrease and then single crochet till you get to the next spike. And decrease again, and then single crochet up this next spike. Single crochet in that top stitch, chain 2, single crochet in that second chain from hook, and then single crochet into the next stitch, and then single crochet down the side of the spike. Decrease at that corner. And single crochet till you get to the next spike, and again decrease into that corner. For this one, we're going to single crochet up, single crochet into that first top stitch, and then increase 3 times, or single crochet 3 times into the same stitch, and then single crochet into the next stitch, and single crochet down the side of this spike here. Remember to decrease in this corner here. There we are. And now single crochet until you get to the next spike, decrease in that corner just like we've been doing. Single crochet along the side, and when you get to that top corner, place 3 single crochets into it, single crochet into the next stitch, and then place 3 more single crochets into that corner, and then single crochet down the side, remembering to decrease into that corner. Just like so. Single crochet until you get to the next corner and decrease into it. Just like so, single crochet along the side of this final spike here. And in that corner, single crochet 3 times in the same stitch, single crochet into the next stitch, and then single crochet 3 more times, just like so. And now single crochet along the edge until you hit back to the original single crochet you put down when we started this border. And when you get back, go ahead and place a slip stitch into that first single crochet, chain 1, and fasten off, leaving a very long end. And there we are. our arrow is ready to sew on. Now, I did mess up a little bit because you guys should have left a long end on the front of the arrow, but we can always join more yarn on, which is what I'll be doing. But here is the final shape. So as you can see, every spike is a little bit different. This is the base of the tail where it covers the whole end. We have the next spike, which actually touches the gray part. And then this next one between the legs is the smallest. Okay, I was interrupted. And then this spike is for between the first legs. It's a little bit shorter. And then the final hump is between these legs. So I'm actually going to be pinning this into place. I'm not sure if I'll do it on camera or off camera, and that way you guys can get an idea of what it should look like when it's finished. But first I'm going to zoom you out so you can actually see the full appa, because we're a little too zoomed in. Here's what we're looking like. I ran out of plastic needles, but I think we will start in the front. And what we'll actually do is we'll probably switch back and forth between each side, just so you're not bored, because sewing this on is going to be interesting. I will be using this needle that I rolled over with my desk chair, so it's nice and bent for this. You can probably find something similar in stores. That's what I will be using. It's the easiest way to do it. Also, I forgot to mention earlier in the video, but I did actually understuff this guy a little bit. So that is my fault. Hopefully when you watched the other part and stuffed him, you stuffed him way harder than I did. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna join my yarn into the very tip of this arrow here, if I can. I'll bring up a long loop and put this guy over here. Okay, and now what we're gonna do is, as we work, tuck these ends in. But we're gonna first place our first stitch about 2 rounds up from the little fringe we have, and making sure that you are centered. Go ahead and place your first stitch there. And then we're just going to stitch along. Kind of stretch the arrow out to make sure it sits straighter, because I know the increase is kind of rounded a little bit. And here is our appa finished. So once you sew everything on, make sure you secure all the ends and weave them in. Now, I would like to say something about this. This is definitely a bulkier look than the needle felting is, but I also think that if you were to make him with a plushie yarn, the arrow would actually sit better. I would also like to say that shrink parts of the arrow that you need to, increase them if you need to. Everyone's tension is a little bit different. When I work in the row, I tend to crochet a little bit looser, so yours might actually fit even better than mine does. I think that's about it. I did understuff this guy a little bit, but it is perfectly fine. Thank you all so much for watching to this end of this video. This has been a tough video tutorial to put together. Hours of footage, hours of crocheting, but well worth it. To the person who's making 2, maybe 3 of these, you are awesome, and you have been my motivation since you first left your comment on whichever one you commented on first. You are the reason I finished this, so if you're watching it to here, thank you for letting me know how many you were making. And for the rest of you watching, if you have started or finished your appas, please let me know. I need to hear about it, especially after putting all this work into it. Hopefully it works out for all of you. Definitely let me know in the comments what you made, if you made a giant one or if you made this slightly smaller version with the size 4 yarn. I'd love to hear it. And I love to hear from you guys. I think that's about it. If you have any questions about the pattern, let me know in the comments. I will answer them as quickly as I can. Other than that, I think we're all set. I'll catch you in my next video, guys. Thank you for your support. And bye!